All right, everybody, what is going on? Good evening. I know I'm coming to you guys just a little bit late with this video. Usually I try to get it up around like 5. It's around 6 right now, but we are going to go forward with it anyway. Pro Football Focus, the defensive side of the ball, which certainly was the dominant side of the ball yesterday. I mean, wow. The defense yesterday was very special. And hopefully that specialness is reflected in the way Pro Football Focus evaluated it. So you guys know the drill by now. The Pro Football Focus grades are interesting, compelling, worth looking at. The Pro Football Focus objective numbers are where the money is made, however. Those, I think, are very worth looking at. So balance and moderation is important here. We understand that sometimes PFF is going to be a little bit off with their grades, and it's not the end of the world. So let's take a look at what we got. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you about Sleeper, a one-stop shop for all your sports needs. You can celebrate and chat on sports games in real time with other users. You can get the fastest scores, blazing fast sports news and sports alerts right at your fingertips. And of course, you can use Sleeper to play in fantasy leagues and win real money on picks contests. This is the way sports were meant to be enjoyed together. So download Sleeper today. Use promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. And you can pair that with another promo they have right now where you can get a $20 entry free with no deposit required. So get both of those things going. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and growing. So check out Sleeper today. Get to it and go have some fun with sports this year. Okay, so the star of the show, or really we had two stars of the show yesterday. We had Julian Love, DeMarcus Lawrence. So I don't think this needs to be really discussed all that much. DeMarcus Lawrence had a sack, forced a fumble, recovered the fumble. Julian Love had an interception, and the Panthers did absolutely nothing with their passing attack. So it's almost a no-brainer, right? Like, of course, these guys are going to be up there. So both those guys, A-plus performances, and I'm totally down with these PFF grades giving them what they gave them. Then you got D'Anthony Bell, who only played 6 snaps, and I'm pretty sure they were all at the end of the game. Not much to say there. Okada, though, basically played the whole game, 80.6. We might have ourselves a safety of the future here because Kobe Bryant, we've talked about it before, free agent. Now, I want to be clear about something because I have seen some people talk about this. Some people are saying, they want to bench Kobe Bryant for Okada going forward here. I don't want to do that. I think that this defense has been remarkably good with Kobe starting, and that I don't want to lose that. I do think there are things that Kobe is clearly better at than Okada. But if Okada is the safety of the future for this defense alongside Julian Love, because Love has a little bit more time left on his contract, then I'm pretty on board with that. He has shown ability beyond my expectations this year. Really good game for him, and it was needed. Mike Morris, only 9 snaps, but really good stuff. I mean, hey, I know he had a TFL in this game. I will take that any day of the week. Pretty excited about that. Boye Mafe chimes in with his best game in a while, even though he barely played, so that's nice, 74.4. Leonard Williams, solid, missed a tackle, I think, and that caused some of the bad grade stuff to happen, but good. Josh Jobe basically didn't show up on the TV screen all day because of Carolina's anemic passing attack, so that's the sign of a good game for a corner, right? If you're a cornerback and nobody notices you, you probably did some really good work. Riley Mills, good grade. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the NFL, Riley Mills, in a positive way. 68.4. Nwosu, good grade. Run defense got dinged on for some reason. Don't know exactly why. I guess he gave up contain on that one Bryce Young 4th down run for a first, I think. Maybe that's what it is, but still good. So that's your top 10. Like, everybody in the top 10 is graded pretty well. And then you start getting down into the more blase guys who are just kind of like, whatever. Tyrese Knight, Connor O'Toole, they barely played anyway. Who cares? Ernest Jones never gets any love from PFF. Mostly in his case, it's because of pass rush and coverage, which is not terribly surprising with him, but still love Ernest, still think he's doing his thing. Eman Worry, kind of a mixed bag this week, mostly because of tackling. We'll get to that in a second here. Tackling is a concern. Byron Murphy, PFF is just not going to, they're just not going to see what we see. With Byron Murphy, it's just not going to happen. I don't think it reflects anything accurately with the way he's playing right now. Pat O'Connell, 3 snaps. Nehemiah Pritchett, 4 snaps, whatever. Reek Woolen, this seems a little bit silly to me, given that I don't think they even threw at him once that whole game. I feel like they didn't. Witherspoon, same thing. Like, they didn't even challenge us down the field, and you're not even giving him a 60? I don't know about that. And then Drake Thomas, pretty poor. And then Jaron Reed, by far last place. Pretty rough down there. So those are the top-level grades. Real quickly, looking at missed tackle stats here. So DeMarcus Lawrence had 2, but was still a superstar of the day, which does go to show that Pro Football Focus does realize you can miss a tackle or 2 and still have an excellent day, which he did. Leonard Williams had 1. Nick Eman-Worry had 2. Witherspoon and Drake Thomas had 1 each. So it's not great, but it's still pretty good. I mean, 7 missed tackles on 50 offensive plays for the Panthers. That's fine. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but I can live with that. Especially when I think a lot of these missed tackles are because of over pursuit, and a quarterback like Bryce Young is going to make you over pursue sometimes. That's how he plays. All right. Run defense. Kind of a oddity this week. Check this out. So we had a total of 9 run stops in this game. 9 times did we have a run successfully stopped. Nobody had more than 1. Lawrence, Williams, Love, Morris, Okada, Mills, Jones, Mafe, and Murphy. You see a spread like that. That's kind of cool. I mean, I'm not against it, right? It's not a bad thing. At least I don't think it's a bad thing. So, I mean, granted, it's a little more exciting when you have somebody like Ernest Jones have 6 in a day, but hey, the Panthers didn't run a lot of offensive plays. If they had run a normal number of plays, you might have seen something a little bit different. And if you take a look at like the average depth of tackle here on run plays, it's pretty good, man. 2.3 for Lawrence, 3 flat for Leonard Williams. Some of the safeties a little bit worse. Riley Mills 3, Ernest Jones 1. I mean, it's a party. Can't argue with it. Pass rush, not great, but definitely better than some of the recent weeks. Bryce Young is elusive, right? Bryce Young, he does have some elusive ability out there. He's not as fast as I think people were hoping he would be coming out of college, but he does have that ability to evade. And we'll be dealing with that again this week, by the way, with Brock Purdy, so hopefully we're able to do a little bit better. But Boye Mafe and DeMarcus Lawrence led the way this week, which needed somebody to, and both those guys had 4 pressures. Uchenna Nwosu had 2, and then we had a bunch of players with 1, including Okada, Murphy, Drake Thomas, Big Cat, and Ernest Jones. So, nice little spread. Having Derek Hall out there might have helped a little bit. We didn't get nothing from, or didn't get very much, I should say, from Big Cat, which is always going to be a little bit of a tougher proposition when you're not getting a ton of stuff from him, but not terrible. Now we look at some coverage stuff, and this page is kind of a punchline this week, I have to admit. I mean, what do I even say about this, right? What do I even say about this? Julian Love, 2 targets, 5 yards. Nwosu, 1 target, -2 yards. Ty Okada, no yards on 2 completions. What are we doing here, man? What kind of passing offense is this? There was 1 guy who got beat in any way, shape, or form in this game, and it was Devin Witherspoon, 4 completions on 5 targets for 26 yards. That's not even that bad. Drake Thomas, I guess, 1 target, 8 yards, but who cares about 8 yards? Unless it's the 8 yards that cost you the game, and this game's certainly not the case. A lot of these plays are screen passes. Look at the A-dot. Look at Nwosu's A-dot. Okada's A dot. It's all negative. All these A dots are like literally in the minus. So I don't really know what else to say about this one, guys. That is something that should not be happening in the NFL ever. By the way, as it turns out, Woolen did give up 1 catch for 3 yards. So I guess he gave up something. And I guess this kind of explains why Witherspoon got a not so good grade. He also had the penalty. But again, 26 yards on 5 targets is not even bad for an outside corner. I don't even really trip on that. So there's that. Special teams, not much to report. Mike Morris, Derek Young, Connor O'Toole, top performers on here. Tyrese Knight at the bottom, I believe. Yeah, he missed 2 tackles. O'Connell missed a tackle. That's really about it. Uneventful on that end of it. But great performance by the defense. And for the most part, I think Pro Football Focus captured that. I maybe would have gone a little bit higher on some of this. Like, I still don't understand how Byron Murphy or Ernest Jones doesn't get a little more positive attention here, but it's just not happening. And there might be some valid reasons why, but I feel like it is more to do with the way Pro Football Focus evaluates these players rather than anything that they're doing wrong, personally. In those cases, they're like Gray Zabel, I don't know. In fact, I think they're probably underestimating him a little bit, but I totally get why they ding him so hard. This Ernest Jones, Byron Murphy stuff, I don't really get. I get the Eamon Worry stuff because he does make a lot of mistakes out there that sometimes we don't even notice because the defense is so good. But so it is. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I will see you guys later. Probably going to stream on Twitch tonight. If not, more videos coming tomorrow. We got a short week, so we got a lot of stuff to get through. See you guys, and go Hawks.